What if the digital artifact that unravels your marriage isn't a damning text or a hidden receipt, but a silent, color-coded block on a shared calendar that rewrites your entire history in real time, proving that in relationships mediated by technology, the most devastating betrayal is often scheduled in plain sight? In The Calendar Invite He Hid, Celia Raye delivers a revenge romance short that transforms digital forensics into emotional detonation, demonstrating that in partnerships built on performative transparency, true clarity arrives not through confrontation, but through the terrifying precision of metadata. This isn't merely another cheating spouse story with tearful discoveries. It's a razor-sharp, psychologically precise narrative where grief is processed through strategic silence. Every synced notification feels like both countdown and awakening, and justice is served not with hysteria, but with the calm certainty of a woman who has already mourned the lie while he was still setting reminders. From the first screen glow narration, listeners are trapped in a digital panopticon where absence screams louder than confession, and presence is the only true verdict. Perfect for fans of bite-sized emotional justice and stories where female rage is channeled into calculated reclamation, this audiobook serves up relentless pacing, unflinching authenticity, and a protagonist whose journey from deceived wife to architect of her own liberation resonates with anyone who's ever been gaslit by the person who swore they had nothing to hide. When marketing executive Lena Carter notices a recurring private appointment on her husband's synced calendar during what should be their anniversary planning week, she expects a work crisis, not to realize the time blocks align perfectly with his junior colleague's vacation schedule, and the location tags sit 3 blocks from an apartment he claimed never to visit. But as Lena navigates the dissonance between his curated domestic persona and his digital double life, she understands this discovery isn't about catching him, it's about reclaiming the narrative he assumed she'd never access. Raye masterfully avoids reducing Lena to victim or her husband a cartoonish villain. Instead, she crafts a story where betrayal becomes catalyst, where consent is renegotiated through boundaries rather than pleas, and where power shifts not through confrontation, but through quiet, irreversible action. The audiobook narration amplifies this emotional alchemy, capturing Lena's initial shock crystallizing into steely resolve, while secondary voices shift subtly between performative charm and exposed deceit, making every interaction feel like both evidence and epiphany. You don't just hear the unraveling, you feel the seismic shift of a woman learning that truth isn't found in his explanations, but in her refusal to accept them. What elevates The Calendar Invite He Hid beyond typical revenge shorts is its nuanced portrayal of digital evidence as emotional archive rather than mere proof. Lena isn't merely responding to infidelity, she's confronting how modern intimacy is mediated through platforms that erase her presence, challenging the notion that shared accounts equal shared commitment. Her retaliation evolves through acts of radical reciprocity with herself, documenting discrepancies without drama, setting financial and emotional boundaries that protect her future self, and honoring her grief without letting it define her worth. Supporting characters add vital texture, friends whose loyalty tests social scripts, colleagues whose professionalism masks concern, even the calendar app itself, rendered as mobile confessional, whose notifications hold memories official narratives try to delete. Every interaction reinforces the story's core truth. In relationships built on performance, authenticity is rebellion, and presence begins when you stop auditing someone else's lies. Even the short-form structure serves thematic depth, with compressed timeline mirroring the suddenness of discovery, and resolution becomes metaphor for decisive closure. For audiobook listeners, this production is pure auditory catharsis with precision. The narrator embodies Lena's evolution with remarkable distinction, from fractured disbelief to unwavering clarity, while supporting characters are distinguished through vocal textures that hint at hidden agendas without telegraphing outcomes. Sound design enhances atmosphere without overwhelming intimacy, distant notification chimes marking emotional pivots, rain against windshield during strategic planning, the hush tap of screens syncing with breath during moments of revelation, all anchor digital stakes in sensory reality. Pacing mirrors the rhythm of discovery and response, deliberate during evidence gathering and reflection, then surging with urgency as external deadlines collide with internal reckoning. Whether you're commuting through daily routines or unwinding in twilight solitude, the audiobook creates a portable war room where isolation feels absolute and agency feels a lifeline. Its storytelling is embodied validation, transforming passive listening into active participation in a journey where justice isn't loud, it's inevitable. Ultimately, The Calendar Invite He Hid redefines revenge romance by centering female epistemology within digital frameworks. It satisfies genre cravings for satisfying payoffs and emotional resolution, while delivering substantive commentary on technological intimacy, masculine entitlement, and the radical act of trusting your own perception when systems are designed to obscure it. No prior series knowledge is needed. It stands confidently as a complete emotional odyssey in compact form. If you've ever wondered whether betrayal can be survived without losing yourself, or if true strength requires silence over spectacle, this audiobook will affirm that sometimes the most powerful response is simply updating your own map and deleting his destination. Press play, close the tab on doubt, and prepare to believe that even in landscapes shaped by deception, hearts still find ways to reset. Your next favorite revenge tale isn't waiting in grand gestures. It's waiting in the brave, trembling choice to prioritize your truth over his time.